What is up, gamers? It's your average Joe with Average Joe Raids. I originally recorded my Void Shard pulls to put them together with Ancient Shard pulls for the times 10 this weekend, but my daughter's birthday party is tomorrow, the day that I'm recording this, tomorrow being Sunday, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to make that video. That being said, I watched NUB Raids' video on viewer shard pulls. He had some awful luck, and I could not resist the opportunity for a little satire video. So this will be I'll be talking about like doing extra pulls for Duchess in the Void Shards pull segment of my video. That will be a separate video going forward instead of all together like I originally thought. So enjoy the video, guys. What is up, gamers? It's your average Joe with Average Joe Raids. Today, I am going to pull some Void Shards. I have decided that for any times 10 event for Krisk, Duchess, or Kymar, I will pull shards for those no matter what. So I'm going to pull up my Mercy tracking that I have going in a Google Doc. In my opinion, this is the best way to track Mercy. Google Docs are free. I'm actually using a Google Sheet. And that way it's on my phone, it's on my computer. I can easily just come in here and track it. So you can see here, and let me see if I can zoom in here. On Ancients, I'm only 67 into Mercy. Voids, actually Void Shards during the Summon Rush for Helicath. I pulled a dupe Vlad, unfortunately. So we have 0 Mercy for Voids. I mean, we're 4 shards in. Sacreds, also 0. I pulled a bunch at... I pulled the 4 that I had in a previous video, and I have 0. So we're going to be pulling all the Voids I have for Krisk, and then I will swap to whatever I record. I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after the Duchess times 10 starts. I will also pull those shards. So thank you guys for the support. We're at 175 subscribers as of right now. If you're new here, if you've been here before, hit the subscribe button. You can always change your mind if you do not like relatable content. So today, we only have 15 Void Shards. I'm not buying anymore. I'm just pulling what I've got. I will always pull for a times 10 for Krisk. Even if it's not a good choice, just on the off chance that luck falls my way, Krisk is worth it. So, gonna pull them. We'll start out with the singles. We'll go into the 10s. Tomorrow, we will, maybe not tomorrow, maybe Sunday, we will go into the times 10 for Duchess that's gonna come out. So I will just attach that into this video. So let's start out with the singles. Here we go. Got a rare. Expected. Let's put on the sound for this. The sound is so visceral when you're pulling shards. Make sure that you guys can hear it. Righty. So let's get into it. Another single. Another rare. To be expected. We are going for impossible odds at this point. Another rare. A renegade. Useful. Useful. We've got interceptor. Useless. Another rare. Panthera, also useless. And now we are going into the 10 pull. Come home, Krisk. Come home. Warcaster. Exemplar. Exemplar is not exemplary. Another Umbral. Legendary? Torment. I cannot believe we hit a legendary. That is nuts. So that's funny. This is a crazy pull. 4 epics and a legendary. I do not have a Torment, so this is a new pull for me. And I've also been kind of focusing on 3v3 Arena lately, so this might be an instant build for me. I might build him up. Attacks all enemies, 15% chance of a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Instantly activates this skill whenever an enemy under both a freeze and an HP burn debuff takes damage from the HP burn debuff. That's pretty specific. So 25% chance to freeze on an A1 AoE. Removes all debuffs from a target enemy, then attacks the target 2 times. Steals all buffs instead if the target is under a freeze debuff. Ignore defense if they're under a freeze and HP. He's got a lot of reading in his skills. Attacks all enemies, places a block buffs debuff. 100% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. On enemies under a freeze debuff. Has a 60% chance of placing a provoke. If they're not under a freeze debuff. Decreases the cooldown of 1 random skill of each ally by 1 turn for every enemy attacked under both a freeze and HP burn debuff. So in other words, an 80% chance on an AoE provoke here. 25% chance on a AoE freeze here. And then the passive, 20% chance, books up to 30 to place a freeze debuff on an enemy whenever they get a buff or their turn meter is filled. So that is pretty neat because you can put Torment in on some Ghost second teams and have them interrupt the even on a Go first team, you could have them interrupt the enemy team when they're placing buffs, like when Arbiter's placing a buff. So pretty neat pull. Yeah, I think he would be way more useful earlier on in my account, but I still am definitely going to use him in 3v3 Arena. I will build him immediately. He doesn't take that many books, which is really nice. And I know he's an older champion that was a fusion. I guess his passive has quite a few books, but 4, 6, 9, 11. 11 books. That's kind of average. Wow. Torm in the cold. All right. Well, hopefully the Duchess pulls go just as well. For Duchess, we are 67 Ancients into Pity, and we'll have 90 tomorrow because I've got my weekly Ancient Shard coming around, so we will do 90 pulls for the ×10 Duchess, and I will see you when I do those pulls. Sorry.